My name is Bridget. I'm 28 years old, and I live in a small town. My parents are very religious and strict, and they taught me many lessons about life and love. They always said that love is pure and that marriage is a special bond. Because of their guidance, I grew up with a strong belief in waiting for marriage. I never dated anyone, never had a boyfriend, and never went to a party with a boy. My lips had never touched another person's lips. I had never been kissed. This was always my choice. At college, some of my friends were different. They dated often and talked openly about their boyfriends. They sometimes laughed at me, but I didn't feel hurt. I didn't care what they thought. I believed in my values. I wanted a partner who would respect my choice to wait. I dreamed of my wedding day. I knew others had many relationships before marriage, but I chose to save my heart. I wanted to give it to just one person, my future husband. Together, we would build a happy life. I waited patiently for that special moment. One day, I went to a coffee shop and met a man named Robert. He was tall and handsome. When he smiled at me, my heart raced, and I felt shy. Robert started talking to me, complimenting my clothes. Later, I told my friend Molly about him. Molly knew many people and warned me, saying, "Bridget, be careful. Robert is a playboy. He doesn't stay with one girl." I felt worried but hoped Molly was wrong. I wanted to believe Robert was different. I felt my love could change him into a better man. Robert began calling me every day. He sent flowers and sweet messages, making me feel special. I started to believe God had sent Robert to me. I wanted to believe he truly loved me. I began dreaming of a future with him. One evening, he took me to a fancy restaurant and told me I looked wonderful. His words made my heart feel joyful. After dinner, Robert drove me home. He stopped the car outside my house, turned to me, and looked deeply into my eyes. Robert said, "Bridget, I cannot stop thinking about you." My heart started racing. Then he leaned closer, and before I realized it, his lips touched mine. It was my first kiss. I had always believed this would only happen after marriage, but in that moment, I didn't pull away. I let myself feel it. When the kiss ended, I felt happy, yet thoughts of my strict parents crossed my mind. I wondered if I had done something wrong. The next day, Robert called and wanted to see me again. We met at a park. He tried to get close, and it felt like things were moving too fast. I looked at him and said, "No, Robert. I want to wait. I want to wait until we are married." He paused, then looked into my eyes and said, "Then we will marry soon, Bridget. Very, very soon." A week later, Robert called with an idea. He said he had to go to Las Vegas for work and added, "Come with me, Bridget. Let's get married there." I don't want to wait any longer. I could hardly believe it. My dream was coming true. Robert wanted to marry me. A wedding in Las Vegas. I said yes. A few days later, we flew to the city. It was loud and overwhelming, but Robert held my hand, comforting me. I wore a simple white dress, and Robert smiled at me. That evening was our wedding night. I thought it would be perfect. I was finally with the man I loved. But something felt wrong. Robert seemed different. He looked into my eyes, but his gaze felt distant. He drank a glass of wine, then another, and went to another room to talk on his phone. He stayed there a long time. I sat alone in our hotel room. I was married, yet I felt completely alone. I wondered why Robert was so distant. Was this how married life was? I hoped not. The next day, Robert seemed busy. He didn't look at me and left the room without a word. I waited for him to return, hours passing slowly. Finally, he came back. He did not smile or meet my eyes. He said, "I want a divorce." My heart stopped. I thought he was joking. But he was serious. "You're not what I wanted. You are too simple. You do not belong in my world. You waited all your life for marriage, and look what it gave you," he said. My heart broke. I could not believe it. Just yesterday we were married, and now he said I was too simple. Tears filled my eyes, and I cried for a long time. Days passed. I tried calling Robert, but he never answered. He didn't want to talk to me. Robert was gone from my life. I had to return home and traveled alone. When I arrived, my family was shocked and very angry. They said I had shamed them and been careless for marrying so quickly. They refused to see or talk to me. I felt like my life had ended. My family, my husband, all lost in one morning. I had nowhere to go. My friend Molly helped me. She lived in an apartment and said I could stay with her. I moved in. Molly was a true friend. She helped me find a job, and I began working in a bookstore. I tried to forget Robert and the pain. One afternoon, I saw a magazine cover. My heart jumped. It was Robert at a big party, a beautiful woman standing next to him. The headline read, "Businessman Robert Sinclair's Secret Marriage." I froze, my hands shaking. Robert looked powerful, rich, and famous, with many companies. He had never told me about his wealth. I felt angry. Robert had used me. He married me, but I didn't know why. Perhaps it had been a joke to him. He had made me believe he loved me. I no longer wanted to cry. I wanted justice. I went to a lawyer with the wedding papers from Las Vegas. The lawyer said, "Your marriage is legal. You have rights." I wanted financial support from Robert. I was not greedy. I asked for money because he had left me with nothing. When Robert received the legal papers, he became very angry. He called me and said, "Do you think you can take my money?" I replied, "You took my heart. Now I take what I deserve," and hung up. The news about our marriage went public. Reporters arrived, asking questions, and Robert was furious that his life was in the papers. I focused on the case, and my lawyer worked hard. Finally, I won. The court ordered Robert to give me money. This money was not just for my needs. It showed that he could not treat people badly and escape the consequences. When the case news spread, my parents called. They said, "Bridget, please come home. We forgive you for everything." I knew I could not return to my old life. I told them I loved them, but I had to live my own life now. I needed independence. I was no longer the same girl who left home full of shame. I used the money to buy a small apartment and decided to return to my studies. Life felt very different. Now I still believed in love, but not in the same way. I learned that true love requires respect. Without it, love cannot last. Robert had not respected me, and that was why our marriage failed. I still saw him in magazines, looking the same proud man. But now, seeing his photo did not hurt me. My soul remained pure, untouched by the bad things that happened. I was happy. I was free. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.